Welcome everyone to the PJ's Cast. I'm your host Piers, alongside of my good co-host Dylan. Just the two of us again, just us two gentlemen. Um, it has been a little while since we've recorded, but if I'm being honest, it's because I've been playing so much Fortnite. Can you believe it? Though they brought the old Fortnite map back, the OG Fortnite map. So I've just been owning Noobs in Tomato Town and dropping in Dusty Depot. You know how it be. And then I saw the Five Nights at Freddy movie with my brother. So
I saw it
yeah,
as
that's what I've
well.
been up to. Did you actually?
Let's kick it off with a Five Nights at Freddy's review. Not
Hell
enough blood.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Should
Yeah,
have been
I don't
more
know. It
violent.
was a fun movie. Like, I'm
Yeah,
glad it made enough money because I do want to see a second one. Like,
for the
they could,
lore.
dude, if they could go to like get the other animatronics and shit, and like you can go through the story more. I want to see that. I want to see Matthew Lillard get set on fire,
I want to
and
see
that's
Marco. I want to see Markiplier in it. We got to see Matt Pat, which is
Markiplier
pretty.
was supposed to be the security guard at the beginning, but they had a scheduling conflict. It would have been
No, I didn't know
perfect.
that.
Yeah, I found that out when it
Uh,
came out, and I was kind of upset. I was like,
then they have to make a second movie, and he
I know
has
he's
to
got to
be
be
in
in the
it.
next one, dude. He has to be.
Oh, everyone, I'm Markiplier.
Oh my god, it's is that the Bite of '87? I kind of wish I saw it in theaters the first night so I could hear all the memes being screamed in the crowd. But like, I would just watch it at my house.
Have you
one
seen the
night.
video that's like, hey guys, if it was Five Nights at Freddy's in Ohio, it'd be Five Nights at Phantoms. And then and then like no one just laughs. Yeah. I love how our like meme culture has evolved to this. Like,
I don't know if it's evolved or devolved.
it's definitely devolved.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like,
yeah.
I don't know.
And I find most of it funny, a lot of it ironically, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't care. Like every year, if you go back every year in time, we all laughed at dumb shit.
They did surgery on a grape. Like,
Oh my God.
only on Miller Grove.
Why don't we just do the Gangnam Style? How about that?
You know what? I'd rather Dougie first and
Oh my
and
God.
El Rafflecopter all over the floor.
All
XD.
right, all right. Let's move on.
Speaking of things, yeah. Speaking of devolving, guess what? Canadian NHL teams are struggling. What? What?
All these teams with glaring flaws are struggling. This is crazy.
Guess who's not one of them though? Right now,
The
the Vancouver Canucks. We'll talk about that. We'll touch on them afterwards, but
just those fellas in British Columbia.
yeah. But not all, but specifically the two Canadian teams that are in Alberta and the two Canadian teams that are in Ontario.
Which one do you want to start with?
How's about we start in the city I currently reside in, and their hockey team, the Edmonton Oilers, who have a worse record than the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yep, they have 1 win or 2 wins. It's not looking good, regardless.
They are 2-7-1, and they play the Canucks tonight, the Red Hot Canucks.
It's not good enough. They're allowing their defense and goaltending is abysmal. McDavid looks like he's hurt. Draisaitl's not playing like Draisaitl. Connor Brown had like 0 points in the first 9 games.
Now he's injured, and if he plays the 10th game, then it'll like trigger a bonus for next year, which I think is like $3 million to a team that's already cap strapped, as you can see looking by their lineup.
Darnell Nurse is looking more like an anchor contract, which is unfortunate for them. Bouchard looks like it looks like he got back after a slow start, but he's been up and down this year, which you don't like to see. The goaltending I have to get back to because it's just holy smokes. I swear it's every night they're letting in stinkers. Every night. And I don't like how can you as a player just trust them at this point? Like they're letting in a fourth of their shots that are put on net. And like obviously that's not sustainable. Like there's going to be some positive regression. You have to assume like McDavid's going to play at an elite level again.
Out of all the teams to like turn around, I think it would be the Oilers to do it. Like I feel like we have this discussion every year, but usually it's around like January, February where we've had the discussion. Oh, are they really going to miss the Oilers? Well, McDavid and Draisaitl are performing at historical numbers, some of the best in NHL history. Whereas this year it's like 10 games in and they are struggling, but they can turn around. But also there's always the American Thanksgiving thing. If you're not like in a playoff spot by American Thanksgiving, it's like 4 to 5 times. Like you don't usually make the playoffs. So
Yeah,
it's now you play the Canucks tonight. Like if you get a win, get rolling here. Like
you got to take it one game at a time. But at some point, like if the hole keeps getting deeper, you're gonna have to start questioning some positions. I would think mainly in the front office and the coaching department. Like I'm
mm-hmm.
not trying to blame Jay Woodcroft for his goalie not
No, I
making
don't.
saves,
No, yeah,
but Ken Holland definitely deserves some questioning after the offseason he had. This team has been on the cusp, 3 years in a row now?
mm-hmm.
I've not been able to get over it. They still lack depth on both ends, offensively and defensively. A lot of his draft picks are not panning out. Broberg and Holloway in particular. I mean, Holloway has some aspects to his game that are positive, but Broberg's starting to look not great. Like you said, if they're still terrible by American Thanksgiving, you might have to fire the guy. And it should have probably happened a couple years ago. But when you make a conference final, you get some brevity for a bit. So,
And we're talking about Canadian NHL teams here. Like being a general manager for Canadian NHL team is one of the most secure jobs in the world. Like we'll get into it obviously later. We talk about the Sens, but like Pierre Dorian getting fired, like that, all this stuff going around the Sens, that had to happen for him to get fired. Like that's how crazy it has to get for things to change. And like we've talked about it, like they're just not consistent enough. Like Draisaitl and McDavid can only do so much, and when your depth is
when they're not performing at a
no, yeah,
point a game pace, you're not winning. It's crazy.
mm-hmm.
Oh no, they're only gonna get like 90, 100 points this year, maybe. Like you got to compensate for that somehow. And also, looks like Ryan Nugent Hopkins isn't gonna hit 100 points again. Wow,
Yeah, it
who
doesn't
would
look
have
like Zach
guessed?
Hyman's gonna be like 80+ points either.
Like there was gonna be regression. Like that's why
Mm-hmm.
it shocked me that they didn't address their depth more to counter that a little bit. Because like we're looking like to bring up another team that's kind of struggling with that right now is like Seattle, because Seattle had such a high shooting percentage last year, and now the shooting percentage has regressed to the mean, and they're losing more hockey games than they're winning. Like this is what happens when you have. I'm not gonna say it's a PDO bender, but just an offensive bender for a year. Like it's very hard to replicate that high of an offense, like a high octane season. So I don't know. Like you said, Edmonton's like all this takes is McDavid going beast mode for like
Sicko
a month,
mode.
and they're right back in the mix. But it's concerning to say the least. 2 wins and 1 in the month of October. I think that's not going to cut it. And they've been playing not like I wouldn't say favorable competition, but like compared to like the Blackhawks and the Sharks schedule,
Yeah.
it's not that bad. Like,
Hey, I mean, at least they have the win. Am I right, Sharks fans? Ugh.
Mike
We'll
Greer, did
talk
you hear
about
Mike
them
Greer
later.
like yelled at the whole team?
I did see that.
One side.
Guys, you're making it too obvious right now. We've lost by 10 goals 2 games in a row.
Like, how do you not request a trade if you're there on a short-term contract? Like, get out of there while you can. Like, I'd be so effing mad if I was Anthony Duclair. Like, just for competing for a cup and get shipped to the worst team in the league. Like,
and like, not any of like bad team. Like, it's not him going to the Blackhawks. Like, he is going to a team that is on a historical pace right now.
They haven't won a game. Oh, well, do they play tonight? I don't know.
No, they do not play tonight. So, like, by the time I get this podcast out,
dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Who do they play next? They play Philly next, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, they got a shot.
But like they just allowed 20 goals in their last 2 games. Like I don't know what to expect from this team. And the Penguins haven't looked that good this year. They dropped 10 on them. Like Penguins had their 2018 Blackhawks moment. Whoa, but freaking yeah. But I guess we should probably get back to the
I want to wrap
Canadian
up the
teams.
Okay, yeah, I want to wrap up the Oilers conversation. Like, if things just go south, like cataclysmically bad, and like, there's no way. Like, if Jay Woodcroft goes, then so does Ken Holland. There's no way you can fire another coach.
Oh yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
And if they are so deep in a hole by like after American Thanksgiving, by Christmas, New Year, whatever.
Oh, you can't get to the New Year being at the bottom. There's
No.
without a change.
But the Purdue's did it 4 or 5 years ago or whatever it was. But yeah, that's like a once
It's
in like
completely different.
yeah.
They didn't have two generational players in the final year or 2 years and 3 years of their deal to the point where now it's actually becoming a conversation like piece. Like they don't do anything this year. Like what reason does Draisaitl have to extend in the summer? Like what reason does McDavid have to extend next summer? Like or 2 summers from now? Got to figure it out fast. But like you said, it's that and Toronto are probably the more solvable problems at the moment.
Definitely. But I want to pose the question, like, if things go really bad, like, did the Oilers miss their window to contend? Like, are we seeing right now that they missed their window? Like, they maybe not missed the window, but like all those years of them like not building up like a team, like providing depth around McDavid, handing out bad contracts, not having your draft picks pan out as well as they could have. Like, that is that catching up to them now? I think it is.
I'd say so, but like also every year you have McDavid, you should be contending for a cup. So like I'm
Mhm.
never gonna say their window's closed with that guy. Like even though they haven't won yet, like we saw it with Ovechkin, it took a while. Like
It takes
so,
time.
yeah,
Even the
McKinnon,
Lightning
it took
took time.
time.
Yeah.
Lightning, it took time. Like not every team just immediately wins like the Blackhawks and Penguins did. Like it's very rare that happens. So
That's not like like sports teams in general.
hell,
Like it
Vegas.
takes yeah.
Took Vegas like 6 years and
It
like
took
a
them a
whole
few
roster
kicks at the
turnover.
can. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I can't like sell out on not sell out, but like sell my stock on the
No, you
Oilers.
can't completely be like, yeah, they like the window's completely
No.
shut right now.
If anything, they need to
trade
double
them.
down and
Yeah,
go find
I
a way to
agree.
get some depth. And I don't know how
Absolutely.
you do that, but I'm not the GM. It's not my job. So
I don't know. They should find a GM that like knows how to do that.
probably.
And the thing is, like, I don't mind the like I like the Ekholm trade last year, but they haven't done enough of that where or you have to pick and choose years. Blah, blah,
For
blah,
every
blah.
There's I was gonna say Mike Green, but that's not really on them.
Oh, yeah, that's
But like
no,
it's like for every Ekholm trade, there's that. It's like there's more misses than hits, in my opinion.
Exactly.
We'll see though. Speaking of misses, holy smokes, how do you think Calgary feels right now? Like they thought they had a chance to re-sign these guys. There's not a chance anymore. You're lucky you got Backlund. Like
this is their sign from God to trade all those players that are up and to start a rebuild, because whether it's Kachuk and Gaudreau or the new players they have now, it's just not working there. Like they gotta do a reset, and I think trading guys like Noah Hannafin, Chris Tanev, all those defensemen like Mangiapane, there absolutely be teams at the deadline that want that. And these aren't guys that are in their like 30s except for Tanev, like Hannafin, Lindholm, and Mangiapane. These guys are in their mid to late 20s. They're going to be teams that absolutely want them at the trade deadline. And I'm pretty sure Mangiapane has like team control too. I'm going to check that right now.
So also I was going to say like the only issue they have right now is they have 2 anchor contracts. Like if you're trying to rebuild, you have Kadri and Huberdeau locked up for at least 6 years, and that's an issue. They have Anderson locked up, I think, which is good. But you got to stock the cupboard up because like they don't have picks. I'm pretty sure like they might have 2 firsts, but
that's why I still don't get that Tyler Toffoli trade. Like if you had
fleeced.
If you held on to him, like you probably could have gotten a first round pick at the trade deadline. Instead, you got like I think a mid third and Sharon Govich,
and a 4th liner.
Yeah,
he's on the 4th line right now, and Tyler Toffoli has 9 goals in 12 games or something.
Really, he has 9 goals.
He scored the empty netter last night. Yeah,
I didn't know he had 9 goals.
No, it's like he'd had no puck luck the first 3 games, and then rattled off like 6 and 4, and now he's on fire. So, which makes up for Meyer not performing up to nothing.
Craig Conroy just like sitting in the front office. He's like, "Oh yeah, everything's going to shit right now. But at least Tyler Toffoli isn't scoring any goal." And then like just the past few days, like, "Oh damn it, come on!" He just like 9 goals poured on.
Well, at least he could say like, "Yeah." Oh, well, he wasn't around for Gaudreau. Not to say, "Yeah, yeah." But Calgary, it's just like like you said, like you have such an arsenal to restock the cupboard. You could do what Ottawa did 5 years ago, and they're still in a little bit of a rut, but I blame that more on the general manager than the players. They stocked the cupboard pretty good that year when they just sold off and like traded Duchesne, traded Dzingel, traded I think was Stone the year after, but like
Yeah, it would
they
have been
just
2019.
yeah, they
that
just
was all
sold
2018.
off though. And or Eric Carlson trade, like this is the time to start making those moves. And it sucks too because I wouldn't even say Markstrom looks better than last year, but he's still doing the same stuff he was doing last year.
Turning over the puck.
Vladar doesn't look solid. Like it's rough, and the coach isn't playing the kids. Like that's another reason you got to start trading assets if you want to see what these prospects have. Like you got to kind of force the coach's hand in a way, because if he's not going to play guys like Coronado and stuff, like, well, I'm gonna trade.
Yeah, it's the scene in Moneyball. Yeah, we're trading you. You're not playing.
You're putting Hadelberg in the
lineup.
lineup. Yeah, you're putting Dustin Wolf in the lineup. What?
Yeah, I saw something. He was like a ridiculous 80 and 30 combined in the AHL, something like crazy like that. Like it. I was gonna say when you're like, oh, they're not playing the young players. I'm like, oh well, you know what? That's their time to fire Daryl Sutter. Oh wait. Ryan Huska is their coach now. Like that was someone promoted within
at least.
Yeah. And so yeah, Huberdeau 8 years. It's the first year of that contract extension. Oh God.
Yeah, the reason I said 6 more years is because it's him and Kadri. There's one both. Then it's just Huberdeau. But like, does Huberdeau get bought out in that deal? Like, does that end up happening?
Oh, there's no way he sticks out the full term. Like, how many 8-year contracts have been like a guy stays on one team and finish that contract out? It's very rare. That is true. Yeah. Well, that's such a rare example.
Actually, as of this year, Kopitar will. So that's another one.
Yeah.
OV did.
Obviously, it doesn't come
did. It's rare, but they do sometimes.
Hey, especially
at this rate, Jeff Skinner's going to.
He's doing well though.
That's what I'm saying. He found his scoring touch again in the last 2 years. It's awesome. Because we all know he can score. Like, he did it in Carolina and Buffalo for years.
That's the same thing with Huberdeau. Like, he had a crazy 115-point season. Like, he definitely cashed in big that year, and good for him. Like, he secured the bag, and then he dropped 60 points, which I'm pretty sure is the biggest point drop in NHL history from an 80-game season to another. But this is still a guy who's gotten 92 points, 80 points before, point per game player. He only has 6 and 11 this year. Like, there's reason to think that, okay, he's not a 115-point player, but he can still be a guy that puts up 80, 85, 90 points, and he's just not doing that right now.
Yeah, they just need him to be I wouldn't even say that high. They need him at 75, 80, and they'll be fine. He'll be he'll be a little overpaid, but
start there.
You need him to drive offense a little more. They can't score goals, man. It seems like they're fighting for their life trying to score goals. I don't know. It's tough. It's very bleak. It's a situation where you hope the GM understands the writing on the wall instead of just trying to go down with the ship and lose all of them for nothing. But I don't know. I feel bad for Calgary fans because they're winning a couple games here and there, so they're not really at the bottom yet.
No.
And it seems like it's going to be another year where the race for number 1 is not going to be easy with the way San Jose is playing. So hopefully they get some lottery.
No, they got out way ahead. The Sharks did.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. Calgary's going to be in an interesting situation this offseason and trade deadline. They will be the most interesting team at the trade deadline, though. Can guarantee that.
So, Jonathan Huberdeau contract just kicked in, and hang on, I just had this pulled up here.
By the way, I think the Blackhawks pissed off Florida. They're up 3-0 in the first period of the next game they played.
Oh, they're facing Columbus, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, I know that. I saw it because I have Gustav Forsling on my fantasy team, and
And he
scored.
scored.
He scored. Let's
I think we're
go.
playing each other this week. My fantasy
Are we?
team. All the other reason I know Edmonton stinks, I have Draisaitl and McDavid in 2 of my leagues, and they stink. So God bless our 10.
Couldn't be Jason
And Quinn
Dickinson
Hughes.
and Corey Perry and Nick Foligno. Like they could use those guys.
Mhm.
But to wrap up, Huberdeau, like so in 2030 and 2031, the final 2 years of his contract, that's when he still has a no movement clause, but then it shifts to a modified no trade clause. So I think that would be the year. Those would be the years, but that's just so far down the line. He's 30 right now. Nazem Kadri, 6 years left. He's 33. I don't know what
6 years left
with
at 33 is tough.
Mangiapane, yeah, like 2 years left, $5.8 million. If you like, that's a guy you can trade. Get something good back. 27 years old. Michael Backlund again just signed an extension, no movement clauses. I doubt he's been
Dylan
a flame for
Dubé's
life.
a guy you move. Walker Dewar's a guy you.
So what you gonna
move.
Dylan Dubé about it? Yeah.
This offseason, Blake Coleman could be interesting, especially if you retain to a contender.
Yeah, they signed him for 6 years, didn't they? Because he still has 4 years left. Lindholm, that's a guy you absolutely like. If Boston keeps up the way that they are this year, that's a match made in heaven right there. Lindholm to the Bruins. Another Lindholm
going to be the easiest to move. Flip him to Toronto. They already want him.
Yeah, Brad Tree, live, laugh, love. We'll get him.
You can get Tyler Bertuzzi in return.
Oh my God. Well, you know what? Before we wrap it, we'll wrap things up. That's a great way to segue into the next team. Yeah, Mackenzie Weegar, 8 years left.
Weegar you keep. He's really good.
It's not It's not ideal, but it's not horrible. Like that you can do. Like the Huberdeau and Kadri ones are tough though. Noah Hannafin might be the most interesting piece, just being a 26-year-old defenseman, only like making less than $5 million. Like Rasmus Anderson, 3 years left. Chris Tanev, another one, just because of the way, like being a defensive defenseman, right-handed shot. Nikita Zadorov would totally get suitors, and I don't think they're moving any of their goalies. So Calgary, yeah, all in all, that's their sign to rebuild. Like you have so many pieces that have 1 year left or 2 or 3 years left, but are at that age. Like if you trade them, you can get first round pick plus. Like you could get a potential Brandon Hagel turn or something similar to it, like with someone like Matt Giappani.
100%. They got all the pieces. It's just the GM's got to execute.
Facts. Let's go to those Maple Leafs, shall we?
4-game losing streak, and they're losing to Tampa tonight. So that explains it. Oh yeah. What else is there to say about the Leafs? Like defensive, they're still defensively. Well, like honestly, they were defensively sound the last 2 or 3 years. This year, it's fallen off a cliff. It seems like
who would have thought signing John Klingberg,
signing guys who are just like defensive vacuums in their own zone, just nothing gets produced. It's not good, and I think I listened to the Dangle podcast earlier today. And he said, when your best offensive acquisitions are Noah Gregor and William Lagesson, that's a bad offseason. Yeah. So, and how many times did we say over the summer, man, they really got to play Domi in the top 6. They really got to play Domi in the top 6. He's not going to be able to produce on his own. You need to put him with stars. So what do? Glue him to David Camp for the first 11 games. No wonder he stinks. Like, yeah, Bertuzzi's the one that's ridiculous. You played on the top line, you couldn't do shit. Like you got to find a solution there. Like, and if it's trading him, it's trading him.
Yeah, 4 assists in 11 games for Max Domi. Again, like you gotta play him in the friggin' top 6.
Like playing with Tavares, for God's sake. Like it's not that hard. Like I'm not even saying playing with Matthews. Like I like that they put Nyes with him finally, but this is not good. And on top of that, Tyler Bertuzzi has a full no move clause. So you better figure it out because he's not going anywhere this year.
and 3 points in 11 games, 2 goals.
Like, y'all better figure it out where to put him in the lineup. Because, newsflash, the guy who's performing the best on your team is an unrestricted free agent this offseason, and his price just keeps going up. Granted, you don't resign Klingberg, you don't resign Domi, give that money to Nylander, boom, it's fixed. But then you got to fill every other gap, and that's less money. It's a very interesting situation. Like, yeah, they're probably going to get out of it. Like, this is a team that can figure it out. Joseph Woll's a pretty good goalie. Samsonov's looked better in the last couple of games. The core four is looking amazing, and I genuinely don't think Domi and Bertuzzi are going to suck this much the whole year.
No, there's no way.
However, if it doesn't work out, like, you better hope to God Nylander comes back, because that's a really big piece you got to fill if he leaves. And especially if he's going to leave and you didn't try to recoup assets, which I know is easier said than done, but it's going to be tough.
It's hard to, especially when you've assembled this core that's been going for 6-7 years now. It's hard to just wave the white flag, especially when you got Matthews and Marner and Tavares still locked up and like, yeah, let's trade Nylander. Like, that can't be easy to do. But I honestly don't even mind like taking flyers on guys like Bertuzzi and Domi and like Klingberg, but I'm more so looking at David Camp, 4 years, 2.5, 2.4, whatever it is, modified, no trade clause. Ryan Reeves, 3 years, who does fuck all for them. Like,
anchor, just terrible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But guys, he's gonna stop Brad Marchand from doing the bad thing. Oh wait, yeah, he murdered Tilly.
If I weren't on the bench.
Yeah, but yeah, you were on the ice for 5 seconds in the third, and they got scored on against Buffalo.
The guy who can only think in hypotheticals. What if? Yeah.
Kucherov's and it's 3-1 Tampa against Toronto. Kucherov's got 2 goals.
That LFR is gonna be spicy tonight.
Oh, they've already been spicy this year. Yeah. Holy smokes! But yeah, this comes back to what we talked about in the offseason, in my opinion, man. Like, they should have traded Mitch Marner when they had the chance.
Mm-hmm.
And they, before that no move kicked in, and they sat on their hands the whole time before the draft, extended David Camp 4 years, good, whatever. And then, now your hands are extremely tied. All these people have trade protection. And jokes on, like, the only move he made, he got rid of a bottom 6 forward who is now performing great for Vancouver. So
I love seeing like Leafs fans be like, I miss Sam Lafreniere. It's just like,
we tried to tell you guys.
Yeah, it's Bane. I was born in the darkness. You merely adopted it. We knew how disappointing it was when Sam Lafreniere left.
Yeah, you guys just didn't see it.
You didn't appreciate it.
Seriously, they didn't. It's whatever. But yeah, Toronto's got a lot of questions. I want to hear your thoughts on them.
Yeah, it's the same thing with the Oilers, and I feel when they both went out in the second round, it was like the same kind of thing. But for the Oilers, your 2 superstars were performing, but they didn't really have the depth around them. Whereas Toronto, it felt like the other way around, where they got decent depth goal scoring. They even got like a couple guys out of a couple goals out of their top guys, but they just never showed up when it mattered. And now, to start this season, like with the Leafs, their top guys are performing. They're playing as good as they ever have, but they have no depth. And like going back to that conversation of like signing guys like David Kampf and Ryan Reeves to those contracts, like, yeah, it's not a whole lot of money, but like when you're up against the cap, when you're up against the cap like that, every penny counts. And like we've seen all the cap maneuvering that the Leafs have done over like the past 6-7 years, and kind of wrap it in back to Edmonton. Like when you're up against the cap, it's like hard to bring up depth. Like it's a bigger discussion of the cap salary, but also you have to be wise with it. Like again, giving Ryan Reeves like 3 years and he's done fuck all. Like I just could you have not, like, You bring up Noah Gregor. Like, could you have not like gotten another, Noah Gregor type person, like a guy who's in his mid to late 20s, like
Why
could be a
didn't you just
depth guy?
re-sign
Yeah,
Achari? Like,
yeah.
oh, there were better options this offseason. And what's stupid is they weren't even gonna go for better options. They were like, obviously, they would have loved to get Corey Perry, but they got priced out. Like, I understand that. But like they tried to go for Lucic also, and like that wouldn't have changed
So the
anything. Like
Blackhawks, but the Bruins got him. Damn it!
literally, like I just don't. I don't know. I don't understand their. They're like this. Just I don't understand what they're going for right now. Genuinely, like yeah, they're trying to win hockey games, but the way this team is constructed, they have given themselves such little leeway that it's like it has to work or else they're fucked.
There's no margin for error right now.
Yeah. Well, good thing they have 70 games to figure it out, but
I do think they'll figure it out. Like they're too good not to, but it's. I was gonna say something, but I completely forgot. I lost my train of thought. But here's what I was gonna say. So this is what happens when you fire or not fire. Well, Dubas did get fired, but like Brad Treliving came in and like inherited a bit of a mess. Like the whole Mitch Marner thing. Like if they wanted to trade him, if they wanted to trade Mitch Marner, like you should have kept Dubas to do that. Instead, you fire Dubas, you burn that bridge, and you give Treliving so little time to prepare for all this. And like as soon as you know it, like all that stuff is kicked in, and it just feels like it's not Brad Treliving actually being the general manager. It feels like Brendan Shanahan, like him being the general manager, like he's using Brad Treliving as his puppet to pull off his moves for his hockey team.
Yeah, I mean, we all knew it was a power struggle in Toronto at the end. And Dubas won at the end. He got what he wanted, just wasn't with the team.
Mm-hmm.
And not saying that what he did in Pittsburgh was good or so far. Like, yeah, getting Erik Karlsson's awesome, but like it's too early to say what they're gonna do. I get not wanting to be too knee jerk, like 11 games into the season.
Yeah, it's hard to like make bold proclamations right now because it's still
trades don't happen till after Thanksgiving.
No.
Like I always think, like when was the time when the Hawks always made their "oh shit we're sucking" move, and it's usually like first.
It felt like December, January, sometimes. Yeah.
Like that's when the Lafferty trade happened. Fucking Strome trade happened Thanksgiving weekend. Like that's when teams that are panicking start making moves. Love that we can look back to the Bowman days on that. That's always nice. Ugh, idiot.
Great president. What? Precedent, not president. Well, both. He was a horrible. Whatever. We won't get into that.
Let's talk about another team that sucks. Ottawa.
Yeah, they out of all the tire fires, they are the most tire fiery.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, I was gonna say before we even get into like Pierre Dorian get fired, they just had like this. Like one day, it felt like 4 injuries came out. Like they lost, I think Chabot, they lost Artem Zub, and they lost a couple other guys that I can't remember. And then the whole thing of like, oh, they didn't give Vegas the proper like precautions when they traded Dodonov regarding his no trade clause, no movement clause, whatever the hell it was, and they lost a first round pick, and then they fired Pierre Dorian. And then their brand new owner didn't appreciate that. Oh, I don't even know where to start with this, to be honest. And put the cherry on top. Brady Tkachuk was pissed off that the fans were booing them.
I'll start there. They paid hundreds of dollars to go see you suck. They've earned every right to boo. I will die on that fucking hill every time. I don't care. Like I don't care. They paid to be there. They're the reason you're making money. They have the right to boo you if you stink. And if anything, them booing means they care because they want you to be better. It's not like a boo, we don't want this anymore. It's please be better so we can root for you.
Yeah.
And like what sucks is every time I look at a Sens game, they have like 40 shots and they lose 4-1 or something because they get goalied and their goalie lets in 4 on 25. Like we talked about in the offseason. Korpisalo was not going to fix their problems in net.
4-1 4-1 Lightning, by the way.
I know. No, Samsonov slammed his helmet, dude. Oh man, 4 goals in 15 minutes.
Okay, so I saw, not to like interrupt or derail that, but I saw a tweet from Chris Johnston. Nikita Kucherov has racked up 8 points in his last 3 periods for the Lightning, and they said that Vasilevsky is going to be back by Thanksgiving, so watch out.
Well, good thing the Blackhawks play him twice before that, and the Blackhawks play him Thursday, so we get the white hot Nikita Kucherov. Should be fun. I'm going to the game though. Should be fun.
Oh,
but anyways,
you're gonna watch the Mrazek masterclass. He's gonna have like a
can't wait.
Shutout.
I'm gonna see like 2 sides of it too, because I think that's the side I'm sitting on. But
hell yeah.
My whole thing with the Senators right now is it just sucks that they're getting like the punishment with the whole draft pick thing is fucking stupid.
I feel like I really don't want to get into the whole Blackhawks thing. Like we talked about this before the podcast. It's not that like I feel I've seen most fans are like, yeah, it's not that the punishment is bad. It's just that the Blackhawks thing is just fucking stupid. But the whole thing is like, oh, it gave another team an unfair advantage. Yeah, exactly.
And the only defense I've heard, I'm not even gonna get into it. It's stupid. But it just sucks. Like you're a new owner. You're ready to get started at the team, and it's like, boom, you got to pick what year you're not going to give your first. Which, granted, if you're really fucking good one year, you don't have to. But it also handicaps you in doing trades, I got to think. Like, you can't really trade your first anymore, because what if you suck and you...
Here's what I think is going to happen. Remember when the Devils tried signing Ilya Kovalchuk to, like, a 17-year contract? There was that. Then they ended up giving him 15 years. Then he fucked off to the KHL, I think, a couple years later. And I remember they forfeited the Devils' first-round pick, but then they gave it back to the Devils. But the caveat was it was the final pick of the first round, and they couldn't move it or trade it. I think that's what's going to happen.
But also, like, they took away the Coyotes' pick for doing workouts, so like this pick's going to get taken away, in my opinion. Like, Bettman's been an asshole the last couple of years.
There's that scenario, but I could also see that.
That's true. Both sides of the coin. Both sides of the coin could happen. For sure. But the Sens are just like cool. You locked everyone up, and your depth scoring is working out very good. Dominic Kubalik got his first goal of the season last week. Good job, guys. Good job. How many goals does DeBrincat have again? No, let's not talk about that. But what's that? Quentin Byfield has more points than Tim Stützle? Oh no!
Oh really?
Oh no! Let's not tell that to Sens fans who were literally parading because they had one good season. I don't know. They're gonna have to eat some humble pie here real soon with the way this season's going, because they're just getting outplayed most nights. And like some nights, like I said, they're getting goalied, but I don't know, man. I've watched a couple Sens games this year. They look fine, and then they get scored on, and it's like
it's not even that. They're not even like where the Oilers or Flames are. Like they're 4-6 now. Like they can turn around, but they are in the Atlantic Division.
Yeah, they're in the shit show.
And I forgot what else I was gonna say, but like most of the stuff is a lot of off ice stuff that's happening to them right now, which is usually the worst thing that can happen if you're an NHL team.
Yeah, because it I don't know how to say this, but like it leaks onto the ice. Let's just put it that way. Like it's not. It doesn't go past the players at all. What's going on off the ice?
No, it's hard to shut that off and
take it from an organization that saw the night and day difference after 2 seasons, or 3 seasons at this point, even. It's rough, but hey, on the bright side, it's gonna be 2 teams figuring it out in 2 nights, because it sends Leafs on Wednesday night. So someone's got to give, Doc.
Yeah, I would say that, but then I remember there was the outdoor game between the Flames and the Oilers, and I was like, oh, the Oilers figured out after this, or the Flames. Oilers won, and neither of them figured out. So
no, it was a bad game. Granted, that was outdoors, but it's not a good look for the Sens.
The Senators, they have reverted back to their year with when they were all in the Uber. And they caught, I think, what I forget what it was again. I think it was like, oh, we couldn't stand the coach or whatever it was, or
was the power play.
Yeah, power play coach, something like that. And I can't believe that was like 5 or 6 years ago.
I know, a whole different team. And And it's true. Like when you lose guys like Shabbat, it's really hard for the back end to accommodate for those minutes. Granted, they do have Jacob Chikrin who played 28 minutes last game,
Sheesh.
but you need like who is Manson Paulo? That he played
I
6 minutes.
have
Tyler
no
Cleveland
idea.
actually is playing NHL minutes right now for them. Like the injury bug is showing, especially on their back end, and that can be concerning because as much as they like to say they have one of the best offenses in the league, I don't think they have the depth scoring to accommodate for their defensive losses because they were a unique defensive team.
Yeah,
goaltending too. Like it's tough. And like I'm not even gonna blame Forsberg because like Forsberg's coming off both torn knees. But so the game against the Lightning, Forsberg was 13 for 15 and Korpisalo was 18 for 21. Like 824, 857 save percentage. Like, geez Louise.
That ain't
guys.
gonna cut it, especially in that division.
And also, they let up 38 shots to the Lightning. You're not gonna win like that. And it's like I said, it's the defensive injuries. There's clear reasons. It's just it's a tough hole they're gonna have to start digging out of. Not as bad as the other teams, like not as bad as Edmonton.
No.
But it's gonna get tough, especially in the Eastern Conference where it seems like a lot of teams are starting to figure it out right now.
And of course, like I feel I haven't paid much attention to the NHLs. The scheduling has felt so weird. It feels like there'll be one night where there's one game, and then there'll be like 16 teams playing, and then the next night will be like 1 or 2 games. I think it's so hard to keep in track with that. And then the Blackhawks, like I felt like they went like 5 days without playing a game, and it felt like they went a month. Like
they're going 4 days without playing a game again because they don't play until Thursday.
I don't get it.
Like they talked about it on the broadcast last night. It's after next week, after this, like after the Thursday game, it basically gets back to normal. But
okay, that's good. Like, because whenever I see this, I'm like, we can condense this season like by at least 1 or 2 more weeks. Like,
yeah, this goes back to what Pierre LeBrun always talks about. Like, it could hand the cup
start it
if they wanted to.
And, yeah, start it when fall starts, and then end it once. Like the
but no, we need a month of like training camp before the season starts, which is like they need training camp. But like,
yeah, like I'm not denying, but do we need like a month?
We don't need 6 like some teams played 8 shorthanded game or preseason games. Like
it should be 1 week. It should be like 3 or 4 games, or however many games you're able to fit into that week.
I think 4 is the perfect number.
Yeah, 4 is fine. Yeah,
but
play a game every other night, and you're good.
100%.
But yeah, the Boston Bruins are 9-1-1. They just keep finding ways.
They're playing the Stars tonight. That's gonna be a really good hockey game. Yeah, the Bruins are nuts. And like we talked about a little bit, like in the offseason, we were like, well, the defense and goaltending is definitely still there. And like there might be some regression. There has not been any regression.
No,
like,
they're still the same.
No. Matthew Patra has taken the ghost of Patrice Bergeron and just ignited him. Pavel Zacha has become a top 6 center. Like
lived up to his number 6 overall selection finally.
James Van Riemsdyk and Kevin Shattenkirk are actually producing, which like I'll be the first to say it. I didn't think they were going to.
I don't either.
And well, I guess playing JVR with Pasternak is going to work, but like and DeBrusk has had like kind of a slow start. Doesn't matter. Coyle I think's had a pretty good start to the year. Like they're a good hockey team, and they got a good mix of youth and veteran presence. And with those 2 goalies, I mean, like it's hard not to pick them most nights. And it's like, oh, we caught him on a back-to-back. Oh, well, you get to play Jeremy Swayman, who leads the NHL in save percentage.
Yeah, and he's on my fantasy team.
He's got a 954 save percentage.
And he shut the Blackhawks out.
Like, oh no, I was at that game. Oh no, and Linus Ullmark has a 926.
You're with Rose, right? Yeah, last year's Vezina Trophy winner. Like we talk about how it's so hard to like gain ground in sports, like pick up wins from the season before. It's also hard to drop like 20. Like we said, they won 65 games last year. If they drop 20, if they have 20 less losses, they still have 45 wins, and that probably gives them a chance to make the playoffs. Like they could probably get 50. The way they're going right now, they could probably go 50 plus wins again. Like it's crazy
for sure. With this hot of a start, they're 5th of the way there already. And you look at how they're doing it. They've allowed 21 goals this year. The Sharks just allowed 20 in 2 games. Like it's insane. It's insane how good defensively this team is.
Yeah, structure.
they're winning most games like 3-1, 2-1, 4-1, 4-0. Like they are just dominating play right now. And it's them and the Golden Knights again, just playing absolutely dominant hockey. It's fun to watch.
It's the Bruce Cassidy effect.
Honestly, bro. Like,
because like it's not even Bruce Cassidy in Boston anymore, but like I feel like they didn't really like tactically change much from the Bruins. They just kind of need a new voice, and I mean, it worked. They won 65 games, and like fine, they might make it back. They might go on another like this year might be their magical year without like Bergeron and Krejci. Like they could, like we brought up, they could go get like Lindholm from Calgary, get another Lindholm at the trade deadline.
oh yeah, or add more defensive. That like they're gonna have options. Just call Calgary. Like you could go pick someone up.
You can grab a defenseman and like get like Lindholm and Tanev. I feel that'd be perfect.
That'd be sick. Or like imagine they get Zadorov.
Oh,
put Zadorov and McAvoy on a pairing. Like you're just gonna annoy the shit out of someone.
You might kill someone. Like
that's the luxury you get to have though when you're playing well. And I don't mean to shift off the Bruins, but you know who else gets that luxury if they keep playing like this is freaking Vancouver. Like what a season they're having right now to start.
Honestly, good for like I don't know. I don't like have a strong like feeling towards Vancouver either way. They're just like we did like in the early 2010s when we played them in the second round and then obviously the first round. But now it's just like, oh, they're not in our division. We haven't really like hasn't been a rivalry there. But good for them. They're 8-2-1 in a very tough Pacific division, albeit with some teams underperforming right now. But like Vegas is just unfair. Like they might go back to back. Like I think I saw they're having the best start by like a defending Stanley Cup champion in NHL history. They have had no hangover whatsoever.
Yeah, they had their first regulation loss last night or 2 nights ago. Or no, it was last night. And it is November 6th.
We had them their first loss. Yeah.
Yeah. Couldn't beat the Blackhawks, lol. Anyways. Maybe they should figure that out before they go win another Stanley Cup. But I also just wanted to point out one more thing about the Canucks. Elias Pettersson leads the league in points in a contract year. So have fun with that one.
Ooh, mama.
Have fun with that one.
I have not looked at the points at all. I knew Jack Hughes was doing well.
Pettersson's got 20, Hughes has 16, Miller has 16, Besser has 13, Roenick has 11.
Brock Besser having a bounce back season is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Demko's got a freaking 947. Like
we've always said this about the Canucks. They have a borderline franchise goalie with Thatcher Demko. Like he almost stole that series against Vegas in the bubble a few years back. They have a franchise defenseman with Quinn Hughes. They have a franchise forward with Elias Pettersson. If you just get like you got guys like Brock Besser going, you got guys like JT Miller going, and now Phil Peronik has been a great defensive partner for Quinn Hughes. Like this, it makes sense why they're off to a good start.
100%. And like the depth scorings, like they're getting optimal scoring when they need it. Like, yeah, they got a couple like Beauvillier's slower start, but like guys like Sam Lafferty are showing out. Like Makheyev's having a decent start to the year. Kuzmenko hasn't had a tremendous regression, so he's actually been pretty good this year with 9-11. Like it could be sustainable. We'll see. But I mean, there's always a team every year that starts off super hot and crashes. So hopefully it's not them.
Honestly, I would like to see Vancouver like make a run at it.
Vancouver versus Edmonton in the playoffs, they can get their head out of their ass. That'd be nice.
That would be fun.
Yeah, but that requires the Oilers to win games. Hey, let's start tonight against the Canucks.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Or drop the 2-8-1. I don't care.
Oh my god. Well, even if they do drop to 2-8-1, at least they are not 10-1 like the San Jose Sharks.
Yeah, dude. Like just
what do you even say? It's so everything bad. is bad.
It's so bad. The closest they were to a win was against Washington like 2 weeks ago.
And I don't think Washington's been great either, have they?
No. Like I remember talking to a couple Cavs fans and they were just like, that's a red flag that they couldn't whoop the Sharks' ass, but the Penguins could. I was just like, yeah, probably. But there's just no positives on that team right now. And every loss, it's going to keep getting worse. That's the worst part. Like, they're going to keep getting more in their own heads. whatever Mike Greer fucking said probably didn't help. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. It probably just made a stronger distaste towards the organization, if anything. They're not selling tickets. Like, yeah, they did for Carlson's return, but that's it. Like, they had like that Canucks game, I think it was 60%. And like, you look at
that poor kid who was sitting in the crowd.
He better have left with a signed puck. I'm so serious. Like, there's no way. Like, there's no way you let that kid walk.
He had
out.
to have left with something.
Seriously,
I gotta find something. Yeah,
but they have so many anchor contracts. Like, you just gotta hope like you suck enough to where some of these veterans want to move. But the problem is like you're gonna have to retain on like Logan Couture, and you don't have the retention spots. Like, I think they have one more. They gotta. Oh God.
Hang on, I'm gonna look that up.
And I saw someone say it last night. This season screams they're getting third overall. Like,
oh yeah, they are.
You can't suck this hard and get first. It's not gonna happen. Oh my
God. They feel like the Blackhawks, like with the elements of like the late 2010s of like, oh, we're never gonna move these contracts, but like the apathy level of like the 2021 Blackhawks, like all that combined together, like it's just
like combined the 2018 and 2021, just mold them together, and that's what this is. Just without a win,
where they just fucking stink.
Like, I think they have 11 goals this year. Genuinely.
I think their goal differential is -41. They have allowed 50 goals. 52 goals. They've only got 11.
Oh, I was right. It is 11. And somehow Hurdle has 7 points. How? He's contributed on 7 of their 11 goals, dude. That's so bad.
Thomas Hurdle, 7 years left. At 8.1375.
Vlasic's got 3 years left. I just have the Sharks and Sheet League. I know how long all these freaking contracts are. It's not fun, dude. Couture's signed forever, and he's on LTIR.
I completely forgot about this. Remember, I don't know if this was a Sharks or Frank Cervelli messing it up. Who knows? It could have been a little bit of both, but like, yeah, Frank Spaghetti. Frank Spaghetti. That's like. I'm just thinking that's like a local restaurant you go to, like a family only. Oh, we're going to Frank Spaghetti tonight.
Frankie Spaghetti's. How you doing?
Frankie Spaghetti. There you go. That's even better. That's gonna be the name of the podcast.
When Frankie Spaghetti misquotes fucking Paul.
Not even Mom Spaghetti. Frankie Spaghetti.
Mom
But remember, for Kevin LeBanc, it was like, oh, he's going on waivers. They haven't played him at all. And then right after, it was like, oh, they're playing him tonight.
He sucks, dude.
He fumbled the bag. Remember, 28. I think it was after 2018 or 2019. I think it was 2019 when they went to the conference finals. They lost to the Blues. He took a 1-year contract because they're like, okay, let's get the band back together. Like, things are gonna be tight, but then I can get another contract after that. And you've been playing on a horrible team, and you only made 19 million. But like, there was talks this guy could get like a 6x6, and you got half that.
Well, it's a lesson to people who want to gamble on themselves in the NHL. Take the money when it comes.
Yeah, and that's why I think more often than not, unless you are just so absolutely sure, like players usually take security.
Yep, they want term.
Security is king, like even more so than like actual, like if you can get a contract like 5-6 years, you're making like $30 million or whatever, and like some kind of modified trade, like you take that almost all the time. If you're not like a superstar, obviously.
Sorry, I just was looking through the NHL stat sheet. You're never gonna believe who's a point a game.
Which team were they on?
Penguins.
The Penguins is I'm trying to think who's on the Penguins right now besides like all their big guys. I'm trying to like think of an obscure.
He's got the same amount of points as Crosby. Let's just put it that way.
Connor Sheary, he's back. No. I'm genuinely trying to think. I'm blanking out right now. Is it Raquel?
No, it's not Raquel, but it's Riley Smith. He's got
I can see that. That's a little, like I can see that though. Like Riley Smith.
He got 6 goals in 10 games though.
Oh, that's not bad.
What the fuck? And the Penguins still suck. It's crazy. Like
Riley
lost to
Smith, I
Chicago,
can
Lowell, get
believe that,
fucked.
but yeah, that's weird. That is a
Yeah.
little weird.
No, I was just looking through the stat sheet and it showed him before Crosby. I was like, that's crazy.
That's odd, yeah. Which means he should get the captaincy now. Crosby, bust, retire immediately.
Bashed.
So, so this tweet is from Prashant Iyer. Through 11 games, the San Jose Sharks own the worst goal differential in NHL history. They're currently ahead on pace to break the NHL record for worst goal differential of minus 265 sets by the 1974-1975 Washington Capitals.
Yeah, it's
In
an
fact,
all-time bad year.
yeah, and then next tweet. In fact, no other team in NHL history has even reached negative 200 goal differential. The Sharks are scary bad right now.
It's not great. It's not great.
I'm pretty sure that was the Capitals' first year of existence. Like, whenever we see new teams come in the NHL, at least for not Vegas or Seattle, but like the ones that came in during the 70s and the 90s and even like late 90s, early 2000s, like the Atlanta Thrashers had horrible years. Like the Senators that came in the 90s, even the Sharks when they came in the 90s had horrible years, but like
Not like
they're
this.
well on pace to fit. Yeah, nowhere close to this. They at least had the excuse of, yeah, we're an expansion franchise. Their team is god awful. Well, the Sharks team is still horrible, but like they've been around for 30 years and now they're now having their worst season. Like it's crazy. I don't even know what to say.
Win a game. That's what I have to say.
It does feel like the 2021-22 Blackhawks, where it's like just win a game. Like
Just
I
win
think
one game and get some good vibes going.
Like, yeah, that's all you can do at this point is like just for your psyche, for the sake of your mental health, get a win.
Oh yeah, their sports psychologists should get a raise after this season. I can't imagine what they're hearing. Like, oh my god.
Ugh.
Like imagine being Jan Ruda. You won a cup 2 years ago, and now you're on a winless San Jose team.
Yeah,
it's not great. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really don't know what to say other than that. Like they're just horrible.
It's really bad. Unlike the Blackhawks, where it's only kind of bad.
yeah. Like they might finish less than 20 wins. I remember like listening. I think it was the previous Steve Dangle podcast. They were like the Mick Eichel 2014-15 Sabres were doing everything in their favor to tank, and I still think they finished with 23 wins, which is still pretty bad. But
they're not getting 20 wins.
The Sharks might not even. No, they're probably not going to get 20 wins. Certainly not. They might not even get 15 wins at this pace.
If it keeps going like this, they have to play at like a 500 rate to get to 20 wins at the end of the year. That's not happening.
That's crazy to think.
Like, dude, it's not happening. They're going to get like 15. It's going to be terrible. It's going to be worse than that Avs year. It's going to be worse than the Mick Eichel year.
Oh, I forgot about that.
It's going to be worse than the year the Red Wings stunk it up in the shortened year. Like, dude, and every time. Especially in the recent years, every time a team has stunk it up this bad, they don't win the lottery.
No, never.
They don't. And I'm not trying to be a pessimist because, like, that's the one thing they have going for them. Granted, for them, top 3 and 4 looks really fucking good in this draft class from, like, everything I'm reading. So, even if you're at 3, you can still probably be getting, like, Yzerman, Demidov, Shinov, like, Lev Shinov. I don't know how to pronounce his name. But there's players. It's just like that's a long way away, and you gotta we were there last year, but not to this extent. Like at least the Hawks fucking tried every night.
No, the Blackhawks weren't even like the worst team last year. Like they put it.
The Sharks were worse. So were the Ducks.
Yeah, I was gonna say like everyone gets on the Hawks for stuff like that franchise, but like in a vacuum, if you looked at that year and didn't include any of the outside noise, like you look at the Blackhawks and say, oh, like they've struggled for a few years, like they put an honest good effort, like if you believed in good karma, at least from like an on ice thing, the Blackhawks would be like a good candidate over teams like the Sharks and the Ducks that were actively like awful, and the Blue Jackets are in there as well.
Yeah,
like the Ducks and Blue Jackets each fired their coach afterwards, and they didn't win the lottery. So
I also just don't think the Blue Jackets intended to suck that bad.
No, that's true.
They signed Gaudreau to a 7-year deal. Like
that's a good point.
Yeah, I don't think the Canucks thought they were going to suck, or not the Canucks. The Blue Jackets thought they were going to suck. Another team that starts with the C, but yeah. You want to get into the Blackhawks now?
Let's do it.
All right. So, fuck the Boston Bruins. Because Connor Bedard should have had goals in 5 straight. Anyways. But yeah,
That's why we beat you in 2013. That's what you get. That's what you get.
Can't beat the Central teams in the Cup final. Shocker.
Yeah, it's
Had
the
to
one
play
thing.
some winky dink Pacific team.
Yeah, from Canada. Not from the Midwest.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
No,
like that's the one thing Blues and the Hawks fans can be like, yeah, we beat the Bruins in the Cup final. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, honestly, with this Hawks team, it's been pretty much what I expected, except Bedard's acclimated more to it's the yin and the yang. Bedard's acclimated more to the NHL than I expected, but also Reichel has fallen off.
Reichel's really struggled, yeah.
And it's slowly getting better. Like the line he's on right now is fine. I don't like him with Radish. I think they need to flip that.
He can't be on at center. Like
no.
I think
now he's on the wing,
yeah,
but
yeah, which is good. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like the one game in Montreal, their power play had like 8 A+ chances, and they just refused to put Reichel with Bedard in the power play, and I just don't understand it. But I guess you got to earn it at this point, which I understand to an extent. But the kid, when he's put with him, puts up A+ chances. So would like to see that at some point. I think Kurashev has looked extremely good since coming back from his injury.
Mm-hmm.
He and Bedard have seemed to really gel.
Yeah.
Like he looks like a different player from last year. He looks like he's seeing the ice completely different than he was last year. And he's making anticipation plays and whatnot. And it's stuff that you weren't seeing from him the last couple of years. So it's nice to see that. Can't say anything better about Foligno and Perry. They've been better than advertised, in my opinion.
And like the holdovers from like Dickinson and Johnson have both been like Johnson got robbed last night.
Oh, robbed, dude! They both got Kershaw got robbed too on a one-timer. Vanacek was lights out last night.
They could have easily won that game, which Frank Fleming was at.
That I was like, this is the best Pierce crossover moment ever. This is awesome. Frank's at the Hawks game. I don't even know why Frank's in Chicago, but he's there.
I know he does like a bunch of like over the summer I know he went to like a bunch of minor league baseball stadiums, and I'm pretty sure he stopped in Chicago. I don't know why he'd be in Chicago right now, but yeah.
Go see the Devils.
He gets around. I know he travels a lot, so that's so funny. Just Tommy Hawk going up to him and like I think it was like a hot dog and like a cake or something, a piece of cake. I don't know.
It looks like a Chicago dog.
Could you imagine just like being at the game? You just see someone. Even
like I'd be laughing the whole game. Like when Hall scored 2 minutes in, he'd be probably losing his shit.
Wait.
Of course, it's Taylor Hall.
Speaking of which, I have a video saved.
Well, the blowout has begun. There was 90 games this week has begun. No more
Shut up.
And SVP is dancing.
Shut up! He did not actually say this shit after the first goal. No way.
They said two might have a concussion now too.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Everyone on ESPN is happy.
I can't believe he actually posted that shit after the Taylor Hall goal. I was joking. Oh my god! And I know it was the Hawks game because I heard fucking Gene Honda on the fucking announcer. Blackhawk goal scored by Taylor Hall. That's awesome. That's awesome. And then they won. They won.
They did win.
But the thing with the Hawks this year, they've battled hard in most of their games, but as long as you limit the Arizona games in the season, I think.
Oh yeah, that Arizona game was unacceptable.
No, they got fucking trounced and left Soderblom out to fucking dry, and that's unacceptable.
They left him in too long.
Dude, they should have pulled him after the 5th one. Like, you can't keep him in for 7. That's terrible.
That's rough, yeah.
But Kaiser's gotten better as the season's gone on, I think.
Alex Vlasic's
been fucking tremendous.
Yeah. I think a lot of the talk was about Korchinski, and even Korchinski's been good.
Korchinski offensively has been great, and transition wise, but defensively Okay, no, I got to get into this because I have seen it now every fucking game that he's been with Seth Jones, and it's getting on my last nerve. Seth needs to learn to not leave his 19-year-old out to dry. because he wants to go pinch and be Superman, which he has never fucking been in his career.
That should be Korchinski's role.
That's
his,
the fucking kid's role, not your role where you're the better defensive defenseman. But no, yeah, keep pinching and turning the puck over, and then Korchinski's got to defend it 2-on-1, and now there's a low light reel of Korchinski getting fucking burned because you want to go pinch. Like that's the only thing that's been pissing me off this year.
Yeah, Seth Jones hasn't been great, and like
all over the place.
Yeah, and granted, like I feel Hawks fans will always be rough on him. Like if anything, like the first year here he was fine. Last year I thought he was great, but yeah,
he was fine.
Year,
he's been fine. It's just he's so fucking inconsistent. Like my god. And also every time he has the puck in the offensive zone, it's like having a hand grenade. I can't. Like, get Korchinski on power play 1. I'm done with this. He every time, like, I watched the whole power play last night where he looked off Bedard at least 5 times to shoot from the point. Your shot is not that fucking good. No. You have no goals this year. Bum.
If anything, I'll be doing everything to get the puck to Bedard.
Literally, bro. Like, oh my god, like, I know he's getting shadowed. Yeah. But guess what? Since he's getting shadowed on the power play, someone else is wide the fuck open. Like,
it's the Capitals power play. Oh, got to cover Ovechkin, but then Carlson's open, then Backstrom is open.
Like it's gonna get him open. I can't, dude. Like the way he's quarterbacked the power play this year has given me absolute headaches.
You kind of talked earlier about Reichel's got to earn his way onto the first power. Seth Jones doesn't deserve to be on the first power play.
He doesn't earn shit.
A chance, yeah.
Like you're not like, and I wouldn't be on his ass as hard if he wasn't making 9.5. But if you're making Kill McCarr money, I don't give a fuck. You need to put up points.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
or at the very least, not make stupid plays with the puck.
Literally, bro. Well. Like, it's once a game at this point. Like, whatever. Like, he's had he's had good moments too. Like,
yeah, I feel
like he had a fucking amazing block last game or against Florida to stop Kachuk on the goal line, but like. I feel like the bad is just like so.
That's the Seth Jones experience, and I feel we're kind of experiencing the worst of it right now. And I expect him to get out of this rut. Like it'll happen, but yeah, it's not promising so far.
No, I mean, whatever. We'll let the season go on. I just don't like it. I just really can't stand the way he runs the power play, and I really can't stand that he leaves Korchinski out to dry on defensive 2-on-1s. This kid's 19. He has not been in the league as long as you. You don't have Jake McCabe on your wing anymore or on your pair anymore to protect you. And like Vlasic even was doing that for a bit because Vlasic's been so sound in the defensive zone. Like you can pinch with Vlasic on the ice.
Yeah.
But you can't do that with Korchinski and Kaiser on the ice, in my opinion.
Mm-mm.
And granted, Tenorti and Zaitsev have figured that out.
Even they figured that out.
Whatever. And also Murphy's had a rough go to start.
But but Murphy's always been a good soldier. Like I expect him. Like I'm willing to give him a little more leeway of him like being bad, as opposed to Jones. Because he's the longest tenured Blackhawk. Like he works he's a good guy from everything. Like he's going through a rut right now. Like I'm willing to give him that leeway to figure it out.
Agreed.
Goaltending, Mrazek has been great. Soderblom, besides really that stinker against the Coyote, and I wouldn't even say that was like he got left in for 2 extra goals that he shouldn't have been in for.
He played great last night, I thought.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like all the goals I thought were not on him.
No, you're playing the Devils.
Yeah, granted it was without their top 2 centers, but
that's true.
Yeah. And that's crazy that's the Devils without 2 center. Like, Jesus, they're a wagon.
A problem. They are a wagon and a problem.
Yeah, they need a Peter Mrazek to shoo them up.
I feel with a lot of the teams we talked about, like their goaltending just hasn't been good enough. Like if you're getting we talked about this last year. Like if you got Alex Stalock as your backup for a lot of teams that were kind of on the fringe and missed the playoffs, like I bet a lot of those teams would have picked up at least a few extra wins with that. And now it's this year with Mrazek. Like how many teams could use like that kind of goaltending?
He's gonna get calls if he keeps this up.
Yeah. Like Ottawa could use him. I was in my Galaxy brain, I was thinking like, okay, Oilers goaltending is horrible, shambolic even. What if like they work out a deal? You trade Peter Mrazek to the Oilers, and you pick up like Jack Campbell's salary, not all of it, like maybe like 1 million retained, so that way it's like 4 times 3 or 4, whatever it is, and you get like I don't know Broberg, Holloway, or noted person I met at the airport, Xavier Borco. Something to think about. Not saying it's gonna happen, but
I don't want Jack Campbell. Like,
nah.
you better give me a fucking first if I'm taking him.
That's what I mean, and like it can't be the full 5 million. Like it's gotta be retained.
Yeah, like you got to.
But I was thinking about that. I'm like, so many teams could use Peter Mrazek or like a goalie of his caliber, and he's been great.
I agree.
Arvid Soderblom, like again, other outside of the Coyotes game, like he's been perfectly fine for a 24-year-old. Like he's right at the top. I don't know if he's dipped a little bit, but like he's been at the top, near the top in terms of like expected goals saved or whatever it is. You know, the fancy stats that fit my narrative. And not that I'm hoping this happened, but there's a chance. Not even that Mrazek gets an injury. There's a chance that Soderblom maybe struggles, and they might have to call another goalie up. Guess how Drew Commesso is doing in the AHL?
936.
Yep, 3-1-0, 1 shutout, 936 save percentage,
and an assist.
176 goal. There you go. To boot, like to top it all off. Put the cherry on the top. Like there's like he's got to be called up at least for like even a couple games this year, especially if he keeps that up. Regardless of what happens, like because they did that, and like it was mostly injured, but like Stauber got a chance last year. Like there's going to be a scenario where Commesso does get a chance to come up and play.
100%. Injuries will come. Like he'll get his chance, and Rockford's been kind of rolling. So
games. Yeah, Cole Gutman's down there. He is point per game, and that's a good thing. Like. For Cole Gutman, if you're not going to play him, let him play in Rockford where he's getting chances. He's probably getting first line minutes and playing with some decent guys. He has 5 points. So this is from at Chicago Prospects, at Shy_Prospects. Our good friend Wally runs the page. Blackhawks prospects who are point per game or better so far. Martin Mishek has 17 points in 15 games with the Erie Otters. He's clearly the best player to ever play for that team. I can't think of anyone else personally. Yuri Felshman, I believe that's how you say it. I don't think he's playing in like the first Czech league. I think he's playing the second Czech league. Still 17 points, 17 games. Gavin Hayes playing for the Flint Firebirds has 15 points in 13 games played. Paul Lewinsky, after having a really bad year last year just with injuries and all that stuff, he's point per game, 12 points in 12 games played. Here's where it gets interesting. Here's where it gets pretty friggin' sweet. Frank Nazar has 10 points in 10 games played with Michigan. Again, guy who dealt with injuries last year. He's already found his footing, and he's taking off. And Oliver Moore, your first-round pick from last year, is also point per game in the NCAA first year, 7 points in 7 games. Things are looking good.
Off to a good start for sure. Got
even Sam Renzel got an assist yet.
I was like, Sam Renzel's playing second pair of minutes, I'm pretty sure, in Minnesota, which is nice. But yeah, kids are doing all right. Can't stress that enough. That's for sure. And the cupboard's only going to get more stocked in the next 3 years. So keep them coming.
Connor Bedard is on pace for 37 goals.
Oh no, it went down from 41. Yeah. Guess he's gonna have to get a hat trick when I'm there.
He's not going to the Hall of Fame now. No, he's not ever going to be a 40 goal scorer.
Yeah, he had 5 in his first 10. Could have had another one if it didn't get called back.
Yeah, it's dumb.
The guy just takes advantage of his chances when he gets them. There's no other way to put it. Like, I feel like that goal against Florida describes it. He was having kind of a quiet game, and the puck gets loose, and you can just see his eyes shoot up, and he just takes off in stride. Perfect shot.
All it takes is one shot with these guys, with the great best goal scorers. They could be completely silent. You could not notice them, but as the puck, you give them even the slightest amount of space. You give them an inch, they'll take a mile, and they'll score. They will sling that puck to the back of the net faster than you can say, I don't know, a phrase of some kind. Like, that's how good he is, Connor Bedard.
And they're finally getting healthy. Vlasic's back. Hall's
Taylor
back.
Hall.
Kurashev's back.
It was nice seeing Taylor Hall score.
Oh yeah, scored in back-to-back games.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see him start to get going.
Kansas Ice have got a goal. Good for him.
Yes, that he did. That he did.
But yeah, I really, other than the Arizona game, I got no gripes with how this season's gone so far.
Granted, like especially the opponents they face, like I have no.
Oh, they've had a daunting schedule. Like they beat Vegas, man. They handed them their first loss. I don't care if it's not a regulation loss. They still handed them a loss, regardless.
Mm-hmm.
They handed them a Bettman loss.
Gotta love it. Gotta love a good Bettman loss.
And they beat the Panthers, but give a good fight to the Devils. The 2 games they played against the Bruins gave them a good fight. But yeah, that Arizona game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you have anything else to add, but
no, I mean just keep it going. Season keeps on trucking. Just stay healthy. Knock on wood.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's about it.
And like injuries are gonna happen. Like we've already seen this happen. I just hopefully no one gets like major injured. Like injuries are gonna happen. Players are gonna miss a few games, and there's gonna be players that come up from Rockford and get chances.
Yep. Should be.
Speaking of injuries, this is rough. Nicholas Backstrom is probably not gonna play another NHL game, from the sounds of it.
It's pretty hard. Like we talk about it all the time. It's hips, wrists, and backs. Like you can't get one of those injuries. It's going to keep haunting you. And don't want to be the bearer of bad news for other people, but I'm pretty sure the surgery Backstrom had is the one Patrick Kane just got. And Backstrom was able to come back for, I think, a grand total of 20 games before he had to step away.
Yeah.
So that's concerning. Sucks for Backstrom because he was probably the most underrated player of the 2010s.
Oh, I would say so.
I don't think he ever got his due.
No.
For how consistent of a playmaker he was, and not even consistent. He was downright elite for a decade. One of the big pieces for their core for a long time. I mean, he just signed a deal, which is tough. But I'm trying to pull up Backstrom real quick to see how many games he's played since the injury. Real quick, he played. Okay, so he's played like 50 games. So he gave it a pretty good go.
Yeah.
And
I don't know if he has a family or not, but like we've had this discussion. When you're getting to that age, I think he's going to be 36. Yeah, he turns 36 at the end of the month. Like
you need your hips.
You got like it must be the most like tough decision you've ever made. But you also have to be like, okay, I'm 36. Like I've won a Stanley Cup. I've had 100-point season. Like I've played over 1,000 games, have over 1,000 points. I think maybe it's best for him to hang him up and enjoy the rest of your life with not too much pain, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah, he was drafted 4th overall in 2006. Like him and Ovechkin were.
Him and Taves back to back. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good 2 centers that were number 19. That's for sure.
So Ovechkin is obviously the all-time point leader for Capitals points. Backstrom is second.
Mm-hmm. Probably first in assists. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. First in assists. Ovechkin first in goals, obviously. First year 07-08, I believe he finished second in Calder voting to Patrick Kane, or third. I don't know. I know he was a finalist with Taves and Kane.
Mm-hmm.
69 points, nice in 82 games. 60, and then second season, 88 points in 82 games. Third season, 101 points in 82 games.
He's a great player.
65 points, 77 games, 44 points, 42 games, 48 points, 48 games, 79 points, 82 games, 78 points, 82 games, 70 points, 75 games. Okay, I'm not going to read all of that, but like, not only is he like.
He had 1,000 points in his career.
Yeah.
He's a hell of a player.
Yeah, like not only are you consistently putting up like 80 points, he even got 100 points. Like, he didn't miss a lot of games to injury up until recently. So, like, he was a durable and consistent player.
Mm-hmm. Can't ask for any more from our first pick. That's for sure. And it's not like he could say he didn't win anything in his career. Won a cup, won medals in the Olympics and World Championships. Had a good career. Nothing to say he left it. Like, he left it all out there. That's basically what I'm trying to say.
114 points in 139 playoff games, including
Is that
23,
good? I think that's
including
good.
23 and 20 games when they won the cup.
Yep.
And I remember he scored that overtime winner against the Blue Jackets to put them up 3-2 in the series.
Mm-hmm. He's one of the biggest pieces in Capital history. There's no other way around it.
I want to talk about a player that has gone through not even injuries, but like health problems and is back and thriving. Someone who I loved who I loved his game when he was in his draft year, Marco Rossi, who like almost had to quit hockey because he might have died because he had to deal with COVID, like long COVID and all the effects of that. He has come back now, and in 11 games, he has 7 points, 5 goals, 2 assists, the exact same point line as Carter Bedard, which I just think is pretty cool. Like I don't really have much else to say about that, but I just want to give a shout out to the Austrian King.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's finally finding his stride, which is great for him and great for the Wild.
I was gonna say we talked about it in the season preview. Like the Wild need a center to step up like that. Besides Ryan Hartman playing center, and it looks like Marco Rossi's done that so far. So we do have a couple Twitter questions, and then we're gonna get into some true off my chest, and there is some really crazy ones. So we'll leave it at that. This is from Zach. Who do you think has been a player that's had a great start that isn't being talked about much? Well, I kind of listed one off right there, Marco Rossi. I feel he needs to get more love. What about you?
Sorry, what was the question?
Oh, like who is a player that's like doing well so far, had a good start that isn't being talked about much?
Oh, hold on. Let me go look at the NHL stats real quick because there's the name that I'm thinking of, and it's just not. It's not hitting my. I mean, Nikita Kucherov, obviously, like he's
Frank
on a
Petrano has
effing tear. Yeah, no, Frank Petrano has like 5 goals in 2 games at one point. It was insane.
The Ducks are off to a good start. That is funny.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know what? I'm gonna go with William Karlsson / Artemi Panarin because I feel like at least for Rangers fans, they wrote Panarin off a little bit, and
you made him shave his hair, and now he's doing
the bread man turned into the bald man, and now he's scoring goals.
He turned into Walter White. Now he's cooking.
Sheesh, you can't beat that. And then William Karlsson has got like 15 points in 11 games. He is been downright unbelievable. Has more points than Jack Eichel. I think leads the Golden Knights in points next to Theodore. And I feel like he's one of the
not fair.
He's one of the pieces of Vegas that just doesn't get the credit. Like they all talk about Buckstone. They talk about Pietrangelo. Like the 2 guys leading the way are the 2 most underrated guys, in my opinion. Karlsson and Theodore. Gotta love it.
He's been there right from the get-go, had 43 goals. He was like a point per game in their first run when he was playing like first line center minutes, and now he's just like, especially with Eichel coming aboard, he's just like fit that second line center role perfectly. Like he's got to be in the discussion for like one of the best second lines, like dedicated second line center. Like there's teams where you have a first line center playing on a second line, but he is like a second line center, you know.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Where he fits that role perfectly, and that's why Vegas is so good. Like everyone just fits their role perfectly.
And your boy, I was gonna say one more would just be Thatcher Demko, just because dude's a beast. He's the reason Vancouver's winning games. Sorry,
I was gonna say your boy Trevor Moore has 11 points. He's on
the
list.
Go!
He made the cut.
Look who was right. Now Trevor Moore and Philip Deneau. What a line in LA. Also love seeing Byfield do well. Byfield's point a game. Like no one's talking about that.
No, the Kings are low key just 7-2-2.
And
they're third in the division.
Talbot's playing great, dude. Like I don't know what to say.
Wow, surely a team that needs goaltending didn't let him go. Especially after one bad season. Couldn't have. But in all fairness, like Talbot bounced around a lot, but looks like LA might be his place now. And hey, there's worse places to be.
Hell yeah, buddy.
Yeah, buddy. Okay. I think there's one more question. This question you would have to answer because, to be honest, I have not paid any attention to the 2024 draft, but in time it'll happen. Will Cole Eiserman prove he has more to his game than finishing? This coming from Maxwell Long.
Okay. Here's the thing with Eiserman. He has like elite finishing. Like he could be Austin Matthews level, in my opinion. It's just if you watch him, he is beaver tapping. Like 80% of the time he's on the ice. Like he's like, give me the puck, I'm gonna shoot it. I get where he's coming from. I need to watch him a bit more this year. I kind of watched him when he was 16 a little more, so maybe his game's evolved a little more, but I don't know, man. Like, even if he doesn't, that kind of shot is going to be valuable no matter what. And we've seen that time and time again with snipers in the draft. Like, people said Caulfield wasn't going to translate. He's translated. People said the Brinkett wasn't going to translate. He's translated. And, like, they didn't have strong aspects to their, like, I guess playmaking they both had very well. And Eiserman's got okay playmaking, I'd say. But I don't know. I think he's got potential, too. Like, let's put it this way. If I had the second overall pick right now, I'm probably leaning Demidov just because I like his size that he brings to his game, and he still has great foot speed, and I think he's a little more well-rounded. But hey, it's each their own. Eiserman's going to be probably a 40-goal scorer in this league at minimum, I'd have to guess. So can't undersell that, even if he has lacking aspects to his game. You know who else kind of has that? Patrick Laine. He's making $8 million a year. So.
And playing center for the Columbus Blue Jackets. I don't know if he's actually.
Who tied the game, by the way? They were down 3-0. Yeah.
And it looks like the Leafs are staging a comeback too. I love this goofy sport.
John Beecher scored for Boston. Good lord.
They're the new Penguins, the Bruins. Like they've taken over the role of like they just always find guys to fill the role even if they lose significant pieces.
100%.
All right. Hang on, I gotta do something here. Alrighty. So, time to read some Reddit posts here. All of these are true off my chest. No, am I the asshole today? But definitely for a future episode, boo, we want to make the decision. Boo. True off my chest is just someone saying something. Like, there's not am I the asshole here? It's just like, this is what happened. So, all three of these have an NSFW tagline on it. Oh boy, where do we start? Oh, I know where to start. I cannot stop having sex with my ex-wife.
Good for you, bud. All right.
Okay. My 26-year-old male ex-wife, 30-year-old female, and I have been divorced for a month now. I have moved houses and changed my phone number, and somehow she still winds up at my door at odd hours of the night. I still get nudes and sex from her in the daytime, just like I would have when we were together. We have hooked up times since the divorce, and honestly, it's been the best sex I've ever had in my life. I hate how much I enjoy it. I hate how good it feels to be with her. I hate myself for letting her stay in my life. I hate that I can't stop myself from giving in to her. She stayed the night last night. I woke up holding her just like I used to do when we were married. She's there laying in my bed right now, still sleeping, like she didn't go crazy and try to make my life miserable. I fucked her like I so loved her last night, and I honestly don't know how to feel about her anymore. I'm so tired. Edit, spelling errors. I can relate to that person. I'm just
Bro, like you gotta move. You just gotta move out of the state at that point. Like I'm very curious to know why they divorced. You know what I mean?
No, there's nothing further than that, but I would like to.
They leave it up to the imagination. Boom.
Exactly. Let's read some comments though. He's gone, guys. She done snatched your soul.
He's dead.
Whoa, here she comes. Watch out, boy. She'll chew you up. Is her name Tammy by any chance? It's like that scene in Ted where their name, like, you'll never guess her name, and they're just going through like
Tammy,
all
like,
the
fuck.
Yeah, fuck. Tammy 1 or Tammy 2.
Is it one of those names with the Lynn at the end? Oh, you motherfucker. I got you now. Oh,
There's a reason why you divorced her, and you mentioned go crazy and try to make my life miserable. This
But the
sounds like
sex is so good, guys.
yeah, this sounds like addiction, and you need therapy. You also need to cut contact with her, block her number, email, etc. Don't answer the door if she comes by. If you work in an office building, let the person at the front desk know that she is to be told to leave if she comes by. So yeah, that's more like serious. Like this, that's what you gotta do.
Well, yeah, I wasn't gonna say, it, but like therapy, my guy. Like you need to talk to
Yeah,
someone.
you need help because
Yeah.
what that person said, like that is an addiction. Like
Yeah,
you'll feel good in the moment doing it, but
and
like
then
you'll hate
afterwards you'll feel
yourself.
tremendous guilt.
Yeah, you'll hate yourself.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, yeah, and then someone's like, sounds like you have to take some responsibility for yourself. Like,
But no, the
yeah,
sex is so good, guys. You don't understand.
like, yeah, it doesn't really sound he's making the effort to be like. It's
No.
not like
Most
as if
people-
she like axed his front door down and like. I'm not even gonna go further, but like you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
he consented to it. Like it's like obviously his ex-wife is a psycho, but so is he. I think both of them need to never see each other again, and both of them need seriously help. And yeah, what are the questions? Why did you divorce her in the first place? Yeah, I don't think there's any. I don't think there's any reply to that, but there's that.
mm-hmm.
Okay. On to the next one. I, 23-year-old female, have a super uncommon kink that even my boyfriend is unaware of. This is NSFW. Stop reading if you're too sensitive to this kind of things. And yeah, that's probably good.
Yeah, liberals, back off.
Liberals, relax. It's called dark humor.
God, you just wouldn't understand, okay?
You wouldn't get it.
That's what makes it funny.
Take this, liberals. Skibbity Ohio toilet Riz guy at Phantom Tax. Okay, I'm too shy to tell my boyfriend I'm anonymous here and sitting behind a screen, and I still struggle saying this. I enjoy sniffing cocks. I love a man's strong natural scent. It drives me wild instantly. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want men with poor hygiene going unwashed for 2 to 3 days is not poor hygiene. Okay, wait, I think I read this wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying I want men with poor hygiene. Going unwashed for 2 to 3 days is not poor hygiene. It just lets the natural scent come out. I don't want to smell the soap. When my boyfriend is not there and I need to keep myself happy, I use his boxers. He's so I hide my kinkiness.
Panty sniffing, bro. Jesus.
You're going to miss the
Also met his match. Oh my
God.
god.
You're gonna miss the panty raid. I had my kinkiness very well in real life. Some time ago, some guy said, "You're very beautiful, but you look like the kind of woman who would make me wait 6 months." Way too poised and standoffish. I was thinking, me making a man wait 6 months, 6 minutes maybe. This lady is just uncontrollably horny, and you know what? Slay, girl, slay.
You know, real, but like,
Real.
I really want to hear one of her partners find out about that kink. I want to hear the reaction.
First reply: if you're gonna make up a new fake story, then at least delete your last fake story first.
Oh no!
Yeah, so this might be fake, but nonetheless,
I want to know what her
interesting
last
read.
fake story is.
I have no idea. This is a troll. She went from sleeping with her older brother to be afraid of telling her boyfriend she wants smelly cocks. Hard to follow, but well, Redditors being Redditors.
Maybe.
So she might just be writing these stories for clout, or maybe she's just a fanfic writer.
No, either way, it's really funny.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's fake, and one guy's like, "Yeah, this is so clearly written by a dude."
It's just so clearly written by a dude. I love how fucking mad Reddit gets. Like, actually, this is fake. You wouldn't ever sniff cocks. I don't understand.
This is
I, for
fake
one, have
news.
sniffed cocks for 10 years, and you would never say something about it. Like, I'm telling you, dude, Reddit cracks me up, bro. Like,
This is fake news propagated by the liberal woke agenda to get you to smell cocks. Clearly,
clearly, like, y'all don't understand.
Maybe it is not as uncommon as you think. A little strange still, but in terms of fantasies, who is the judge?
All right, buddy.
So yeah, I'm thinking this person has posted like stories before, because then there's another reply here. So you had sex with your 55-year-old boss to post porn gifs and have kink sniffing cocks. Why don't you just say you need upvotes instead of this BS? Okay, so yeah, that's probably fair.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this reply. Bro, this is like one of the most common kinks in existence. I always get a nice whiff of a woman's panties before I take them off of her, or I'll put them in my mouth after I do something like that. Not weird at all. The
Open
scent is
Pandora's
amazing,
box for weirdos. Jesus
and
Christ.
it's strongest on the clothing.
Yeah, I'm checking out on that note. That's disgusting.
Okay,
Like, I don't even care if bro was joking. Like, you have that on your brain, like, immediately. Like,
therapy. Yeah.
that's nasty.
And that's not even the worst one. This one seems like it's a bit more serious. Again, NSFW, this is the last one, and I think this might be the most fucked up one. Haven't yet had sex with my wife of 2.5 years, and I feel like I'm in a prison and I'm rotting from the inside. This is a whole novel. Like the other ones were like a couple, like a couple of paragraphs. This one is like there's gonna be like
Jesus.
it's gonna be like 7 or 8. Okay. Get locked in. Put your seatbelts on. Make sure your socks don't fall off. We saved
They
sex
already
for
are.
marriage. Didn't really grow up in purity culture, or at least feel any shame or pressure. The night of our wedding was met with tears and fear. I admittedly didn't react well, trying to understand if I did something or if there was something she wasn't telling me. The next 6 months was me highlighting the fact that we needed to figure this out, not only for me, but because we can't make it normal. She didn't understand why I wanted this so bad and was confident we figured it out. 2 years from that point, we're still here. 3 different counselors, therapists, 1 year of pelvic therapy, lots of honest talks with friends, and still no penetration at all. Vibrator is fine, but we've made no progress. She is unable to get her legs to relax, and if I try to force, oh boy, okay, and if I try to force it, it feels like rape. I can't stay aroused because she's resisting me, despite her telling me every day that this is something she wants. I just don't understand what I'm supposed to do. She doesn't want me to watch porn, but I can't get by with hand jobs that I only get if I ask for them. I can't leave because I vowed to work through our problems. I can't stay because I want to actually have a chance at a family. I want someone who is passionate about me and actually does something about it. Every marriage in my family has ended. Every single one has ended in divorce, and I'm better than that. But I just don't see how I'm supposed to live in limbo like this. I often fantasize about me or her dying because it's the only way I see out of this. Oh man,
This is so fucking depressing. Oh my god.
It is. It is. I'm not like laughing because this is funny. I'm like, it's so fucking crazy, and I don't know how to react
Like
to it. It is a. It's like it's a Kitty Foreman laugh. It's like, yeah.
Oh,
It's a
God.
nervous laughter. It's a
Yeah,
coping
a little
laughter.
bit. That makes me sad. Oh god. The guy like actually wants to start a family, and this is what's going on.
The most telling part is if you're fantasizing death, like I think like
Yeah.
getting a divorce is better than like.
But no, you gotta prove your family wrong, dude. No, like you need to be happy.
And
Like,
when he
Jesus.
said that everyone in his family got divorced, I take that as a way that he has probably had a lot of problems in his family.
Yep.
And that like he might just be a horny man and really want sex badly, and that's like I feel.
Go talk to the girl who sniffs cock. She'll drop
Like, I
in the
feel-
6 minutes apparently.
Like I feel there's something missing here because like. So I know there's a lot of religions that believe, oh, you shouldn't have sex till after marriage, but like there's 2 years of this. I think I feel like you don't just
on.
yeah, something else has to, like there has to be something missing. Like a girl, like a woman won't be like, oh, we're not having sex for 2 years. Like if they're obviously you're married, you consent and all that. Like you will eventually have sex, but I feel there's something more going on here if that's not what's happening. And First reply, listen, divorce is better than a toxic marriage. Where you think about that, which is well, I agree. And not to be TMI, but is there a pain when she tries, or is it just nerves? I assume you tried foreplay. For real, this is what I want to know. She's had therapists, but maybe she needs a gynecologist. Yeah, there is. It sounds like there's more levels to this than what it shows. Like it's, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
That's just a sad situation. Well, that's a great way to end it.
Thank you for tuning in. Here's a 5-star rating. Tune in next time. Jesus Christ, bro. Yeah, I was not expecting it to get to like that. I just looked at Terrell off my chest and I just saw NSFW and I saw the words kink and sex and I'm like, let's roll with it.
That's a Family Guy reference, right, guys?
Who else but Quagmire?
Oh my god. It's Quagmire. Quagmire.
Giggity giggity, let's have sex. Yeah. This is worse than that one time I had that weird fantasy about kink snicking.
This is the worst time that one time I met the girl like sniffing my penis. Hey Lois. Hey Lois.
Hey Barney, come in here.
Oh,
I'm
God.
here, Peter. And then Joe's in the background. I'm here, Peter.
It's okay.
There's that one, like it's an actual Family Guy clip where I think he's like, it is a cutaway where he's like talking about like having sex with Bonnie, and then like either like in the room together and they're like, I don't know if I should do this, and then Joe's just like, it's okay, Peter. So that's an actual.
I hope Joe was holding his hand the whole way.
Honestly, emotional support for sex, because boobs are scary sometimes, you know.
And
I might need that.
No.
Yeah, what a roller coaster of a podcast. So
yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else to add, or we can wrap this up?
I'm ready to wrap it up.
Hell yeah.
Oh, sign off.
Yes, sir. This is from I don't know. I was gonna say something. I was gonna try to make like the Anchorman reference. Fuck you, San Diego, and then just save. Well, yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to our little podcast called The Peaches Cast. You can give us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcast or on your preferred podcast platform. If you're watching our beautiful faces on YouTube, you can click the notification bell, click subscribe, like the video, and all that stuff. And you can talk about us to your friends, especially if you like hockey and reading about kinks online that may or may not be real.
And watching Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hell yeah, and playing Fortnite. Let's go. We like Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Just wiped out Tomato Town with all my Riz Skibbity
Ohio
toilet.
Battle Pass. I just shit in my ass.
Ow.
See, I know.
We're cool with the kids.